talk about probably the biggest news or the biggest, at least, conversation being had this past week, and that's the Jimmy Butler trade rumors.
Mm.
Now, obviously, before the season started, he was a big name, and we were talking about all the
Huge.
destinations and places he could go to, and if there was even a possibility he wasn't on, he wasn't a part of the Miami Heat by the end of the season, and I'm
And I
pretty
think
sure.
it would have been a lot better and easier had he gone prior to the season. I think it would have made a bigger impact.
Yeah, but maybe. Hey, let's see. We'll try it out for the end of the season and see how it goes, and maybe it's like, yeah, no, I'm still out of here. But
I
he
gotta
gave a
get out of
wish
here.
list.
Sure.
He gave a wish list. The man's been dyeing his hair different colors to
Well, he
match
gave a
teams he
wish
wants to
list
go
with his
to.
hair. Yeah, yeah. What do
So
you
let's
what do you
talk
what do you
about it.
think the wish lists are?
Well, he gave the 4 teams.
Oh, without his hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't see that.
So
All I
it's
saw was his hair was blue, gold,
okay.
and
Okay, so you don't
red.
know.
No,
Okay, so he had blue, gold, yellow, red.
yellow. I didn't get. I saw blue, gold, and red.
So
That
what do
was
you
about it.
think? What do you think his teams are?
So red, the Miami Heat.
Hey, I might stay. I
I might stay,
I
bro.
might stay. No,
Um,
it's
I'm gonna be honest. Let me know because I'm not sure.
so. Let's talk about it. So the first team I want to talk about, obviously blue. I think
Yeah,
you can assume that is the
Denver Nuggets.
Dallas Mavericks.
All right, cool.
They're
I
literally
was wrong.
they're two blues, literally just two types of blues, and that's
Yep,
all their logo is.
yep.
Now,
Dallas
from now,
wouldn't. Dallas would
see,
suck. I don't
here's
believe that.
but see, here's the problem though, and it's the main thing we don't talk about. It's what it's gonna be like. What's it gonna take to get him to these teams? Because the
Yeah, like
man, the man gets
who are
paid.
we giving up?
The man gets paid a shitload of money. They're obviously gonna have to give enough worth it, money
Yeah,
wise, and for just the namesake, just who you're trading for.
yeah.
Um, like okay, first things first is like, all right, the Clay experiment's
Clay.
done. The Clay's gone. That experiment is out the window. Clay
Like
Thompson's not a Mav anymore.
that's the first thing to go from it. But Jimmy's game is. I don't know. I don't know if it would add to what Luca has going on.
I mean, it definitely would be tricky on the offensive side of the ball if we're talking how it would be shared. But I mean, I love the. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I talked about like Clay joining the Mavericks, it was
The
like, all right,
Mavs.
it's like you got this guy who is gonna hit some threes if you swing it to him, but at the end of the day is another player that in reality is kind of a defensive uh
Liability.
yes, defensive liability. And I
Yeah,
think you kind of get the opposite with Jimmy
with
Butler
Jimmy
when it's like he's gonna
for
take
sure,
on he's gonna be locked down 2 way,
but
and
less offensive load.
if that is okay, like if he's able to
Yeah,
put
if he's
pride
okay
pride
with that.
aside and take a lesser of a load, then all right, I'm cool with that. But like what I was reading is it's definitely going to take a lot to get Jimmy traded to the Dallas
Yeah,
Mavericks.
which is. I mean,
Um,
honestly, it's gonna take a lot to get Jimmy anywhere, but
so what do you think his yellow and gold or yellow and or gold were? He had a
Lakers.
yellow and he had a gold. So he had the Suns on his list.
I think
Uh,
that is the worst possible place for him to go.
what?
Really? You don't
J-
think that's a terrible place for Jimmy to go?
Jimmy wants to go to Phoenix. Miami is literally one of the teams on Bradley Beal's list on his non trade clause contract. It's amazing. It's the
But,
easy. I mean, this is
but
simple.
what do you think that obviously Jimmy adds a lot to any team that he goes to, but what do you think that Jimmy adds that Beal doesn't offensively at least?
I mean, you don't have to worry about Beal as much as a ball. All right, here's the thing. For me, and I think for both of us, it was like, how is the ball going to be spread? How's the love going to be spread with
Yeah,
without throughout Beal, KD, and Booker?
and
I
Book,
don't
but
think that's
Jimmy would have to take a deep back seat for this Phoenix team to work. And I think that if Beal took a deep back seat, then this team could work out. But the fact that all these
but
guys are itching for,
so you don't think Booker coming down at point and having Jimmy as an option instead of Beal is better?
I'm not sure how
Especially if he's going
different
to
it is.
continue this point guard role, it's like you really don't need Beal, especially when you got KD.
But I'm not sure how important it is to have Jimmy there if you have Book bringing it down and KD. Why not
Why would it
add
not?
just a regular
Why would it not be
shooter?
important? You got a DeRozan with defense.
Yeah, I know, but for Jimmy to thrive, he has to have that bitch.
Does he?
Yes,
Does he though?
I would believe so. I mean, he's done it
I
for the
don't know.
past
I
5
don't know.
years,
I don't know if
five
he
six
does,
years.
and I don't think he's dumb enough to expect that. Look at the. Okay, he has Dallas
Well, I
and
wouldn't think that Beal was dumb enough to expect that, but clearly he is.
he has Dallas and the Phoenix Suns on his wish list. Do you think he knows he's not going to see the ball as much as he does in Miami?
I
Do you really think
guess,
he
but
doesn't know that?
but the other two teams that we're assuming who they are, obviously you know who they are. I'm not really entirely sure, but I'm assuming that I guess he would take a slightly bigger role in some other team. Maybe he doesn't want to take a bigger role, but if I was Jimmy and I was looking at those teams, I don't know. I
I don't
mean,
know. To me, I like that even more than just the level wise. KD, Book, and Jimmy. I like that more than Luca,
but you got
Kyrie, and
you
Jimmy.
got three dudes who are trying to shoot mid range, three dudes who are trying to throw
It's
up a
not, but
couple
it's
threes.
not what it is. It's not the Phoenix Suns. It's not just three dudes trying to shoot, just trying to shoot. It's not. It's
That's
not.
what the Suns are right now, and
That's
that's the
not.
same thing if
It's
Jimmy Butler was there instead of Beal.
no. I think you got a better defensive team, and I mean, I think you don't have to share the love as much.
I think we need a better offensive team, and a better offensive team would be pulling a piece away from this team. So if
Okay,
you pull a piece away, you don't have to replace it with a Jimmy Butler. You
but
pull Bradley Beal away, now you have
pull him
more
away
shots for Book and
do
KD.
what? Pull him away and do what with him?
Who?
Pull Bradley Beal away from Phoenix and do what with him?
You trade for a defensive piece who's not looking for the ball.
No, Devin. Here's the thing: if you trade for Jimmy, you're automatically getting a player who's not expecting as many looks as Bradley Beal. Jimmy
Not
ain't
as many,
fucking
but he's going to be expecting looks. It's
bro. It
Jimmy
don't matter.
Butler.
Jimmy's never been the scoring leader in the NBA, so no,
I
he's not
understand, but
expecting
he's
the amount of looks as he
going to
is.
be looking for looks.
But he's bro. But he's not.
He's not a Klay Thompson, yo, pass me the ball whenever the fuck you want. I'm spot up. He
But he's
wants the
not looking
ball.
for the ball as much as Bradley is.
I understand, but he will
But I'm
want it.
saying if you give just KD and B and Book a combined 10 more looks, I think you got a better offense. With besides just adding some random wing guy that can play defense, you still have a Jimmy Butler.
But I would rather have a wing guy who can play defense
But I don't but I
on
feel like
that Book
I
and
think
KD team.
you might lose too much.
No, I don't think you are. I don't think you're
I think
losing
you
anything if you
are.
lose a
I
Beal
think you're
and
putting too much in
18
this
shots
this
a game.
dynamic duo. It's not enough, bro.
I think it can be if they
It's
execute.
it's not, especially with
You
KD
have the greatest, one
bro.
of the greatest
KD,
shooters of all time, and then you got Devin Booker.
I
I
mean
think it's
KD
very
at this
possible.
I don't know, especially with KD already dealing with injuries. I don't.
Book was doing better with him and CP, so I don't understand how you would need more than Book,
So
KD, and just a defensive piece.
we're looking at a world where you are going to have to replace Bradley Beal with somebody worth it.
But
So you
I think
cannot just
I
go
thought
out
that the
and get.
problem with Beal was that he was taking too many shots. He was taking up
And if you
too
get
much space on the court.
if you I don't understand how many times if you get Jimmy, you got a guy that's gonna expect less shots.
I know, but how many less shots are we talking?
Enough that are gonna go to KD or Book.
All right, but
And
I
then
just think that Jimmy still wants to be Jimmy.
when they do go to Jimmy, they will be worth it. I think he's more efficient. I don't know.
Jimmy
I think
wants to be Jimmy, and I think for Jimmy to be himself, he has to be on a team that's maybe not as
okay,
stacked
but
with talent.
take these goggles off where you think Jimmy wants to be Jimmy, and maybe he has a wish list of teams that he thinks he can go and win a fucking championship with.
All right,
It's like
maybe Jimmy wants to take less shots.
it's
I
like
think
okay,
it
so
can.
you're but
I think it,
with all the drama in Phoenix, you think he's gonna go there and go, damn, like Katie feels like he's in the corner. I better get my shots. Like he's not stupid. He knows what
but
he's walking into if he went there.
he, agreed. But what is he expecting to do in Phoenix?
Bro, be a part of a team that can actually make a fucking playoff run.
But what's his role? So is it just Book KD doing their thing, and then Jimmy's there?
Yes,
Like I'm not.
being a defensive and mid range anchor. I mean
Then get Marcus
that's all it
Smart.
is. Devin, you can't trade Bradley Beal for Marcus Smart though.
I know you can't.
So that's what I'm saying. So
But
no,
you
you
can
can't.
trade
But
you can trade Bradley Beal for pieces and then pick up Marcus Smart
but no,
at some
you
point.
can't just pick up Marcus Smart. What are you talking about? You can't just pick up
You
Marcus
can
Smart.
trade different guys for Marcus. But
No, this
what I'm
isn't.
saying is like I think that in a perfect world and in a world where Book and KD want to play
This ain't a
off of
perfect
each
world.
other, but Jimmy to me at least is not an entirely individual. Fuck. um,
Jimmy shares the love. I don't know where you get this idea where it's
no,
like
Jimmy
all fucking
shares,
ISO
but
ball when Jimmy gets the
no,
rock.
it's not ISO ball, but Jimmy is meant to be a team leader.
If anything, all Jimmy wants is people that can knock down more fucking shots when he gives them the opportunities to. I mean, he's just praying Tyler Hero
But
is
Jimmy wants to
fucking
shoot.
bro.
Jimmy wants to be there and shoot.
No, he doesn't.
You're telling me Jimmy
You
doesn't
obviously
want to
don't.
shoot him?
You think Jimmy Butler goes on a basketball court and he's like, I just want to shoot. I just want to shoot. No, that's
No,
Kevin
I'm not
fucking
saying that, but
Durant.
I'm saying that
That's
Jimmy
a Klay
does want to
Thompson.
shoot. I'm not saying
Bro,
Jimmy just wants to shoot. I'm saying Jimmy
every
wants to
basketball
shoot.
player wants to shoot a basketball. But what I'm saying is, I do not think he's walking in like 2 years ago, Bradley Beal averaging 30 fucking points a game, expecting to get that many shots to even get close to that.
But
If anything, has been banking on Tyler Hero to take the next step every fucking year.
agreed.
And
But
he's been waiting. He's been waiting for him to do it. He's been waiting for him to take the next step. And
but
it's not happening. It's not.
if Jimmy thinks that it's just Jimmy at his best plus a better Tyler Hero and a slightly better and he's that close a slightly better what's his nuts who's their 6'9" big man.
Bam.
Bam. He's a slightly better Tyler Hero and a slightly better Bam away from a championship. What makes him think that he can go to a Phoenix team where I personally don't think that he will be able to slide into as easily and make a championship team?
Why? That's you're assuming he's walking in expecting to be the number one. And one more
Well,
time,
everywhere Jimmy's gone in recent history is where he's
bro.
wanted to
Jimmy
do his thing.
knows.
Jimmy's been on a team for 5 years where he's been the number one.
So
I
why would
don't
he
know
have
how
this?
quickly
Why
he
would he
can
have
turn
this?
around and say, "No, I'm
Why would
not
he
going to be
have
the."
this on his wish list? Why would he say you? So you think at this point you're saying Jimmy is dumb enough to think he could go to Dallas and be the number one?
I'm not saying he's dumb enough, but I'm just not saying with Phoenix. I'm
Maybe
not
he's.
saying even if he was the number three, I'm not saying it's a good number three.
I
It's
think
a
it's.
it's a good number three, but I'm
Dude,
not
you
saying it's a
just said get
championship level
fucking
number three.
Marcus Smart.
That was a joke.
No, it wasn't. You are
No,
not joking.
you said a defensive guy who can
And you said
shoot
get
a
that
little bit.
instead of Jimmy Butler. I wouldn't take that over Jimmy Butler.
I
Maybe
understand.
Jimmy Butler's 33 and realize that he needs to just go to a team that has a fucking championship roster, and that might
Maybe,
be the Phoenix Suns.
maybe.
I mean, that's
And
like
that would be awesome if Jimmy can take a different role on this team. But for the past 5 years, he's been the leader of a team, and
okay,
the
and
the
maybe players learn from past mistakes of others and see someone like I don't know Russell Westbrook, who went on to
he
learn
did.
like, oh shit, I got a different role, like I got a whole completely different role to play now, and
Yes,
I think he's doing a great job at it as of right
he
now,
is.
and I think Jimmy Butler can do the same.
I think he can, but it's
Um,
weird to like Russ didn't jump into 5 years of being point guard to straight up sitting on the bench and playing well.
but I don't know. You don't think Jimmy might look at that and go, all right, well, let me look at some things not to do. Uh, and maybe that's go to a
Maybe
team with two superstars and expect to be able to run the team like Russ going to the Lakers.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm Jimmy. He, like even if the Suns thing works out, I don't see a Suns with Book, KD, and Jimmy being atop the league.
I I I guess so. Okay, then the other team. You think Houston? You want to just see him go to Houston instead?
I don't.
You want to
Um,
you want to see me? You want to see him just waste his time in Houston?
no, but I think that I don't even know what I think. It
That's what I'm saying though. Like,
it
would
could be
you
more
rather him go to Houston?
plausible. It could be more plausible than the other cities. A lot easier for Houston to get him than some of the other places.
Dude, this
But
is the
that's that.
biggest.
So that's the end of his list. Is those
There's
four
one
teams?
more team. Well, we didn't talk about the fourth.
Oh, three teams. Sorry,
But I'm saying, okay, I mean, going to Houston is the biggest lateral move or lateral step
by
possible.
far.
You're going to a team with
Agree.
some role players and young guys that could possibly do
Could
something in the
yes,
future, but it's not gonna. There's absolutely no reason if he's gonna if he's if he is what he is not willing to accept if he remains in Miami is exactly what he's gonna get, if not less, if he goes to Houston. So there's really no point. So what I'm saying
no,
is if
probably
he
less.
knows
Well,
if he
not only
knows
is he gonna like be ousted from the number one spot, he will receive less in terms of success and
yeah,
all the other things that come with it. Yeah,
and there's
Houston is
to me
probably
it's like
by far the worst
as a fan, but also just know who what would be a more dominating team. It's like yeah, no Dallas or fucking Phoenix.
for
I
sure.
think but see it's also like because it's like no matter what team it is, they're gonna have to give up a good amount or good set of pieces.
A
So
good chunk.
you could say, oh, but Dallas is gonna give up this, and Phoenix is gonna give up this. Well, Houston's gonna have to give up this, and give up that. So it's
Yeah,
like it's and then that takes me to the fourth team, which is people are talking about it. It's Golden State.
yeah.
Um, now obviously, okay, Jimmy,
Sorry,
but see
I have a question, really quick.
what's up.
Do you think that Phoenix is looking at their issues currently and saying a fix to our issues is Jimmy Butler?
Um, I don't know if any organization right now is like this specific player is the answer to our prayers, but I do think that Phoenix, um,
Or the Mavs?
I do think both of those teams, with the knowledge that Jimmy has interest in coming to play for them, it's Jimmy Butler. I mean, do you think Phoenix thought they were a Bradley Beal away?
Well, obviously they did,
But I'm
and they
saying,
were
like,
very wrong. No,
do
no,
you
no,
think,
you're right,
yeah.
you're right, you're right.
So it's like,
They're incredibly wrong. And
you're
clearly Dallas thinks that they're Klay Thompson away, so
you are
um,
replaced, and that's the thing. See, like, let's stop the
yeah,
disrespect.
no.
If they're a Clay
No,
Thompson or Bradley Beal away, they can be
I
a Jimmy
agree.
fucking Butler away.
No,
What
I
are we
agree.
doing? We're Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler away. That's all we
No,
are.
if you're Bradley Beal or Klay Thompson away, you're definitely Jimmy Butler away for sure.
But I don't like Houston. To me, that's a waste of time.
No, I agree for
But
sure.
Golden State,
But no, Golden State, yeah,
it's like okay,
that's a
they
good
probably
point.
have the best options. They're saying like they could give up Andrew Wiggins, give up Kuminga. But you do
Yeah.
something like that, it's okay. This is
You
a
can
win,
definitely give up Kuminga and
but it's
get
win
a
now.
better.
It's win now because
Golden State is Golden State is the prime example of win now.
to me, I
I
think
guess Phoenix is a little bit, but no, Golden State for sure.
Dallas and Phoenix can eat a year or two.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I
I
don't
don't
if
think
Golden
Curry can
State
eat a year or two.
if Golden State gives up one of their best remaining role players and gives up one of the only young guys they still have hope in, and then
Yeah,
run with the core three of Jimmy, Steph, and Draymond Green. This is y'all better go on a run this season or
yeah,
else.
yeah. No, for sure.
There's to me there's absolutely
Now I don't think they have to give up Kuminga and or Wiggins and now Wiggins. Now I'm not saying
I don't know that
I'm no.
money. The
What
money's the
what
biggest problem.
what I'm saying is like it won't be Kuminga and Wiggins. It'll be Kuminga and the 13th guy on the bench. Or
Maybe,
Golden State thinks that
maybe,
they will be fine with just
but it's the
so and so
money.
and whatever.
It's the money. It's the money. The money is the problem.
For sure.
The
Steph's
man makes a lot
making
of money.
a nutso amount
Um,
of money, and a lot of guys are making a crazy amount of money. But
out of the four, who would you want to see? Who would you want to see get him?
I think Golden State is the best role for him. Um, again, I think it's difficult for him to fit into a Maverick. Not, I mean, you have a very sturdy point guard in Kyrie, and then you have a point, a guard point esque type of player in Luca who can spread the ball and get rebounds and shoot well and do whatever. Um, plus Clay Thompson over there, and then in Phoenix, like it's like for I think for Phoenix to do well, they just have to strip back what they have. I think that they can add some not shittier players, but some different types of bigs, just throw in some defensive guys. You don't need more offense on that team. You have Book, you have KD. Get a guy down low, get a guy in the corner, spread it out a little bit, relinquish some of that star power, rock with the two stars, and then kind of spread it out from there. Um, and then the Rockets, like you said, just a big waste of time. Um, but yeah, I think the best option out of all of this would be to give Jimmy a team, which they haven't done in
Well, I was gonna ask you. So,
5 years.
is there a world he stays? Is there a chance he stays?
There is, and that's if they get a piece that he needs, which would be um, a big, and because yeah,
You can't get a big. You can't put a big on Miami unless you're either replaced. No, you can't. Bam's
but
not.
you have Bam, but Bam's 6'9". He's not doing anything crazy
But you
defensively. He's doing
cannot.
all right.
If you move Bam to the four, you are throwing your season away.
I'm saying boot Bam.
That's a lateral step. That's all right. We got a big now. We got a bigger big. We got a bigger big. Cool. We got a bigger.
Maybe
I
get
like
maybe get
Dallas.
maybe get Poopy Gobert.
I like Dallas because of okay. You look at like KD and Book, and it's like what you're really looking at is like how many shots are they going to share. You
Yeah,
look at Luca, and it's like, all right, like how many times are you going to have both of them? Like it's just the way Luca can play on both sides of the ball,
yeah,
going for rebounds and all this. It's like you're gonna have Jimmy and Luca out there hustling for boards. You're gonna have Luca out there just being the playmaker he is, being able to find Jimmy in better situations. That's the thing. It's like Jimmy. This whole thing about you thinking it has to go through Jimmy. I think there's a chance that Jimmy might want to go and be a guy who it's like think about how easy it is to um like even guys put it like playing for with Luca or LeBron. It's like how easy it is to just go to where you need to go, and you're
yeah.
going to get that ball to you. And it's like what if there is a chance where Jimmy wants a little bit of that stress off his back and go, you know what? We got one of the
Well,
best passers in the league. And look, I don't gotta worry about carrying the ball because of or bring the ball down because of Kyrie and Luca. Kyrie's gonna get his looks. Uh, Luca's gonna get his looks, but they both also look to give other players looks.
yes.
And I think if we're gonna talk about out of the between them and Phoenix and what it what would it look like sharing the love, I think it'd be easier in Dallas.
Yeah. I mean, we did see pretty big glimpses of that in Philly. I think that's where Jimmy started to take on that secondary role as a teammate, like,
Mm-hmm.
and in a positive way. Like Jimmy was impactful for Philly during that year, or however long that was, however long he was in Philly with the fucking ninja headband or whatever. Which fuck them banning that shit. That's
That was the
garbage.
dumbest band in NBA
That's the
history. I'm
dumbest
sorry.
fucking
That was
band.
such a
Like those
stupid
headbands
band.
are tough. It's
We're a
bullshit.
ninja headband.
You can't. You have to wear a
Okay.
full wraparound headband. Yeah, go fuck yourself, Adam Silver. Um, but again, like the past 5 years, it's been like Jimmy on his own. But no, I think if Jimmy could revert to the way that he played in Philly, I think he could very well fit into the Mavericks offense and defense.